Ever since we thought of visiting Peru's coast, Chicama was always on the top of our to-go places, mainly due to the legendary status of the longest left waves in the world. And that's where we headed next. Chicama, or Puerto Malabrigo, is a very small town by the coast. The actual pueblo of Chicama is further back and more inland. Puerto Malabrigo offers a dozen streets in a chessboard style. Basically, you will spend most of your walking time in two of them. The main promenade street, where you can enjoy the view of the ocean, find a surf rental and some cafes, and one street behind, where restaurants, grocery shops and the local market are located. At most coastal towns we've been in, the locals have a quite chilled way of living and always seemed happy to see us, foreigners, trying our portuñol abilities while haggling prices on the local market.
Our tent needed steady ground and our shoulders were looking for rest. At first we saw of camping in more remote parts of the beach, so we set out to explore the coast. The beach curves and runs towards the west. The coastline's shape looked like the bite of the ancient giant. Huge cliffs hang above the coral reefs, and soft sand change with the sharp rocks and caves. And a lot of isolated beaches like a unique micro-worlds open for the eyes of the traveler a little bit further. However, we could not stop there. Strong wind and too soft moving sand are not the most pleasant conditions for camping, so we had to return to the small civilization of the Chicama Town. For the long-awaited camp, we chose a spacious beach, down from the promenade street. Here the wind is calmer, and equipped umbrella tables are very helpful with cooking breakfast. The beach we chose gave us the most precious treasure of all, a new friendship. What an amazing couple of travelers with their dog and spirit bird, old but strong T31. Guys were happy to have new neighbors, and from the very beginning we felt together like one big family, sharing beautiful moments, stories, food and days routine, making tattoos and macrame. Here as well, the owner of one of the surf rental shop offered us to use his bathroom and made a good price for the boards. We left Chicama now, but brought with us all the kindness and love of those people.
From the very beginner to the experienced surfers, with shortboard, funboard or longboards, all can have an incredible session here. After a 20-minute walk from the promenade to the beach, you reach El Point, which seems to be everyone's favorite spot and where the long waves are more constant. Our first surf here was really a playground. It was soon after a very good swell from a day before, so waves were smaller but still very rideable and strong enough to take you on a long ride. My very first wave was already one of the best of my life. The drop and ride were very smooth, cruising up and down. Walking front and back on the board, the wave didn't seem to end. After almost 1 minute of riding, I looked back and saw how far away from El Point I was. I burst into the most uncontrollable laughter, screaming of excitement to the skies and oceans, jumping like a frantic baboon.
We also had our screaming of happiness moments. With a 9-foot longboard, we easily went in and reached the break and had a good amount of drops while trying to stand up. and getting our precious seconds of the magical floating on the board for the first time. After a lot of practice at Talaya Nova's conditions, this place seemed like paradise.
Walking by the promenade, you'll find opportunities for surfboard rentals with different kinds of boards and nice people. The one that caught our attention was the Malabrigo Left shop, owned by Jesus, aka El Zorro, one of the nicest guys we met so far in our travels. El Zorro is a Chicama local who has been surfing this beach for a long time and has been owning his surf business for the last 10 or so years. At his shop, you can rent a board for the whole day with wetsuit for 40 soles, and if you decide to rent for 3 or more days in a row, he'll give you a very nice discount. We definitely recommend renting your gear at his shop, located on the main promenade up the hill.
For us, the main attraction was not the town itself, but the wild and unique nature around us. So one day we headed to the far cliff above the horizon, to our personal edge of the world. The journey takes an hour and a half, running with the curvy coastline. After the string of beaches, you reach the desert. Here, the ancient power and freedom play with a strong wind, and you understand the wilderness and incredible purity of spirit that lives here. The desert surprises with the colors. Hills and mountains are not sandy, but covered with small fragments of rocks and reefs. Probably centuries of contact with the ocean and the salty air has caused a chemical reaction that colored the rocks into incredible dragon scales. After a short but steep climb and descent of the mountain range, you come to a spacious sandy beach that ends with a cone-shaped rock suddenly sticking out at the edge of the land. It is here as a kind of monument to the divine game of God, so you can only wonder how and when it got here. A clearly visible path winds around the rock on all sides, taking the brave visitor to the very top. Here is the home of proud goals, the temple of wind, water and salt. Here you think of the first people who came to the distant lands in the hope of finding shelter. The trail also goes down, inviting the traveler to bow to the ocean on huge boulders. Who did so, silently standing, smiling and breathing in the salty tears of the universe. Chicama is not only about surfing. It is about kind people, incredible wild nature, and of course, amazing sunsets.